All right, guys, so as you know, there is multiple different drive modes that you could choose from. You have automatic, which is your eco mode. This is the mode that allows you to go into 4-cylinder mode to help you be a little more fuel efficient. Then you have your custom mode, which is basically your custom setup where you could customize the transmission, paddle shifters, traction, and steering. And then you have the sport mode, which is pretty much just like a more opened up version of the car. Like you're using all the car's power, its full potential, and then you have track mode. Track mode is like when you want to go crazy, you're going aggressive, you want to feel those shifts, you really want to feel the motor working. Now, eco mode, I'm going to drive real quick and I'm going to show you. I'm pushing the pedal down and we're not really going too much. It's kind of moving like a V6. It shifts very smooth. See, we was already in 6th gear. I don't know if you was able to see that. See, watch this. It shifts very smooth in eco mode. You'll see eventually it'll pop up and say 4-cylinder. Is this the page? Oh, there you go. You see that? 4-cylinder mode. Now, 4-cylinder mode is the mode that everybody says kills your lifters. They say due to design failure of Mopar, they tend to go bad, especially when you drive it in 4-cylinder mode. So I don't really do this. Anytime I have it in 4-cylinder mode, I slap it over here into manual, which automatically puts it in street mode. When you put it in street mode, what happens is the 4-cylinder MDS, that thing, it deactivates. It no longer goes into 4-cylinder mode, and you can shift it yourself manually, which I enjoy doing. I'm not always redlining the heck out of my engine, so I'll be shifting in manual mode a lot. Right now, what I'm gonna do for you guys is a pull in eco mode. I'm gonna put it back in drive. As you can see, it went back to eco. I'm gonna do a pull for you guys, and I'm gonna show you the difference in each mode and how it pulls. So this is a eco mode pull. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I did get a little bit of rear wheel spin, not too crazy, but I also didn't go all the way down. I didn't like floor it because I just kind of didn't want to. But in eco mode, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's almost as if the engine wants to like restrict itself a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust a U-turn here, and we're gonna do the same thing, but this time we're gonna go into street mode by flipping it over here, and we're gonna do a pull, and I'm gonna show you guys the difference. We're gonna do another pull. Now you see the difference? That in street mode, you definitely feel the power a lot more. It's a lot less restricted. And again, you don't get that 4-cylinder deactivation, that cylinder deactivation. You don't get that. So you know, it's in my opinion, this is like the perfect mode for like when you're just trying to save gas, but you also don't want all of the loud power and ruckus. And you can also use the paddles if you're not comfortable shifting with the shift knob. So that's your street mode. I'm gonna go ahead and toss it into sport mode. Some people say it's not good to switch drive modes while you're moving. Please let me know if that's the case, because I always do, and that level unavailable to change thing, it pops up for a few seconds and then disappears, and then it switches. But now we're gonna go back into automatic mode and into sport mode, right? Sport mode, in my opinion, is probably the best for like if you're on the highway and if you want that power just like instantly, no matter what you're doing. Like if you want to chill, you can chill while you're in sport mode, but when you need the power, you can also put it down. You see? The power is always there and it's available to you in sport mode without being a little bit too aggressive. When you throw it in track mode, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the shifting is definitely a bit more rough. It jerks you as it shifts, And not only that, it waits a long time. It goes way up in the RPMs before it shifts again. Because of course, when you're on the track, if you're doing like a drag race, that's what you wanted to do. So I personally don't recommend staying in track mode because I feel like it's a lot of wear and tear on your car. You're constantly jerking really hard. Hey yo, what the fuck? After a while of being in track mode, if you pay attention to your temperatures, it'll start to rise. It'll get closer to that halfway mark. Anything under 220 is nothing to concern over, I want to say. But you don't want your car just running hot all the time, you know? So let's see. Intake air temp is normal. Oil life, well, we're gonna need an oil change soon. Oil temp, everything's normal. Coolant temp, 204. If you stay in track mode while you're driving, you're gonna notice that your coolant temp is gonna stay more between 215 and 220. Like if you're just constantly on it in track mode, especially in traffic. My custom mode is always changing, but right now where I have it is kind of like my sweet spot. So we have the paddle shifters on, the traction mode is on sport. The steering is in track, so you still get that very tight feeling of the steering wheel. I like when the steering wheel feels heavy and tight. It reminds me of my G37 I used to have. And yeah, the transmission is in sport. For me, that's the sweet spot. When I just want to drive and I want to chill, but I want to get on it when I need to get on it, this is my custom mode that I recommend. Let me know if your custom mode setup is a bit different. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said.
Slow down, Tiger. Do you think you're cool because you did that, Ron?
You guys make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We got a lot more content coming for you guys. And like I said, turn it up. You going crazy, you heard? Yeah, I'm out.